We welcome inside Gore Arena for the second match of this series. The Charleston Southern Buccaneers looking to bounce back from a loss last night, and the Campbell Fighting Camels looking to improve on a 6-1 record here in conference play. We thank you for joining us courtside here with Paul McDonald, Evan Budrovich, and Paul. Campbell in yesterday's match, 3 players in double-figure kills. What stands out about this offense that makes it so tough to stop?
Well, it's really a very balanced offense, and it really starts with Sarah Kalla, the last conference tournament player of the tournament, along with preseason player of the year, and then Layla Green, on the all-conference team from last year. Those two are very balanced. Now mix in the freshman Cook, and you've got 3 great pins at any given time that can put the ball away.
These teams in different directions last night. Charleston Southern struggled to hit above 100 as a club. How did they get their middle blocker, Paige Rieger, more involved?
Well, it all starts and ends with ball control. If they can't pass it, then they're going to really struggle today.
Here's Layla Green's first swing of the match, and a kill for Green. Oh, Rieger keeps it alive. No, it is a 4th touch, point Campbell.
Yep, and Rieger tried to keep that thing alive, but then she had to kind of pop it from underneath her, really underneath her hips, and at that point, it was game over on the first point.
Campbell has not dropped a set at home this year. Paige Rieger with the cross-court swing for the point.
Nice cross for Rieger, and anything to get Rieger going for the team would be really bonus for Charleston Southern. Rieger really never did get untracked yesterday, so I think the first objective is going to be for Coach McFatrich to get her involved early on so that Rieger can take advantage of that 6'5" frame out there on the floor.
A season low 4 kills last night as Green sneaks it through the block for the point.
Nice job by Green. Just take a big swing. She was over on the right in that service reception rotation. Kind of a tough look for Layla Green, but she sneaks it through 2 blockers. That ball goes down for a point.
Green has 4 double-doubles on the year, needed 4 digs to get her 5th, and an ace for Green.
Nice job by Green. Green really thrives in the back row too. In the opener against USC Upstate, now going on about a month ago, she started with some great defense in the backcourt, rotated to the front, and then since then, she's really been rolling from the offensive side of things.
Layla Green with a service error. That's where she leads this team in both aces and errors. So our first look at Emma Minnick, the sophomore setter for Charleston. The Buccaneers have been ravaged by poor health coming into this week, but they get their second setter back in Ashley Holweger. That shot is long by Thompson.
And any chance to get 2 setters in your gym is always good. When you can't even do squad practices against each other with only 1 setter, it really makes it hard. Now, coaches can step in and do a little bit of setting, but it's not the same as having a player out there training and connecting with their teammates on the floor.
David McFatrich will play that role in practice. He has experience in beach volleyball growing up. Thompson off the block of Cook. Now Holweger, the bump set to Chara down line. That overpass results in a point. Good play by Indigo Young.
Nice job by Young. Just a little bit of too much power for Haley Wilson in the backcourt. She made a nice dig, good contact on that. She brings that just a foot off the net. It might be at least playable, but instead the finish by the Buccaneers.
Charleston Southern leads this conference in blocks. While that is a kill, a very similar play by this big front line.
Might as well credit it as a block. She could have actually blocked it down had she wanted to, but instead she takes the swing and puts it down.
Claren Fechter to bump set it to Sarah Kalla, and that ball lands down. The combo of Young, and they're playing a great front line also with Nanaseni.
Great block by them. They were well positioned to finish that block off, and for Nanaseni, great positioning by her. She sets the block and lets her middle come right to her. Good on Charleston Southern on that block for sure.
Nanaseni redshirted her last season, her first full year in the rotation for the Buccaneers. And that service error drastic for Holweger.
Well, and that service error kind of rough. She was trying to take out the line judge on that one. Line judge had to have some cat-like reflexes to get out of the way. You could see him even out of the camera's way, shaking his head, saying, "Hey, my life was spared just moments ago with that illusion of that missed serve."
Better safe than sorry. That line judge, Julio Santana, working the near side tonight. Peyton Thompson got going in the third set. There's her first kill.
Nice job by Thompson over there on the right, and she had a seam. Melody Page was a little late to get over and make the block, and the result is a seam that could not be defended on the Campbell side. Peyton Thompson makes no mistake.
Thompson top 10 in kills in the Big South. Both her and Rieger have that on her. There's Chloe Cook looking across court and missing long. First lead for the Buccaneers tonight.
Kind of a tough out by her. She just got underneath the ball a little bit. She should wait on that approach just a tad. Easy for me to say from here on the sideline. Hey, it's really easy to make that call from 45 feet away. Chloe Cook has been solid most of the season, so I doubt we're going to see any more significant mistakes like that from her.
She hit 120 last night as there's a mistake from Elle McFatrich, the daughter of the head coach David, in his second year here in Charleston. Minnick goes middle to Rieger, denied by Page.
And I like that commit block over there, a good quality block by Menz out on the floor along with Melody Page, and they're going to keep an eye on Rieger all game, and that's no surprise. They have to front her as long as she is. If she gets any space, she's going to put the ball down.
A second block, and Menz gets her hands on it.
Fantastic work. Again, Menz and Page on the block. They are camped out, waiting and ready to go over there to stop the Charleston Southern swing. Charleston Southern is setting some tempo balls to the pin, but the block has been up to the task so far for Campbell.
Third service error for the Camels tonight. But Paul, if you're Charleston Southern passing in system, Campbell knows it's going to the pins. How do they readjust their attack?
Yeah, when they know it's going to the pins, now if Campbell has established the pins as they kind of did last night, since it's almost like one big continuous game. Now, today, you might see if Campbell's passing works for them, the chance to work that ball in the middle to Melody Page or Haley Wilson in the middle as well.
The dump set is perfect for Minor.
That's a nifty set from Minor. Nice job, or nifty dump by her. Great job by her to get that ball over. When you're setting from the back row, a dump looks a little bit different with two hands. You've really got to be deceptive when that ball is coming from below the tape.
Here's an ace for Claren Fechter, the freshman. And all of a sudden, 3 service errors for Charleston Southern tonight.
Charleston Southern having a hard time getting rhythm, and sure enough, Coach McFatrick is going to break that rhythm with a timeout here.
Campbell up 3 in this first set here on ESPN+.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities,
in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Campbell won all 3 sets last night and off to a 10-7 lead here in match 2. Paul McDonald with no conference tournament this year. If you look at from Campbell's standpoint, 6-1. Closing out these series is so crucial.
Yep, for Campbell, it is really critical, especially with Charleston Southern. Now only 1 loss in their loss column. They're both chasing High Point, who remains undefeated. So every win matters, especially finishing things off in this particular series for the Campbell Camels.
Maddie Minor is into the back row here as she bumps it over. Nanaseni off the hands of the center. A rare attack from the senior center. Rieger in system, and that's beauty to the back corner.
Nice job by Rieger. She goes high and long, and that's really a great strategy by Rieger. Just because she's a long athlete, when that block is out in front of you, the worst thing you want to do is try to go straight down, because that's exactly where the block is going to be. Instead, she goes high into the right back corner for a nice quality kill. Nice spark play by the sophomore from Frisco, Texas.
Here's Layla Sarvis with the float serve. Forcing a free ball over. That goes into the net. Good scoop by Minnick, and it won't matter. Point Campbell.
And that's a giveaway point for Charleston Southern. They'd really like to have that one back. McFatrick in the back row, she maybe should have let the ball go. And then when she passed it, that ball was all the way up at the net, causing really wreaking havoc for Charleston Southern, not able to even retrieve that ball and get it over.
Campbell having a tough day at the service line. 3 errors tonight. That's really what's kept Charleston in this first set.
Yes, 2 aces for Campbell, but 3 service errors for Campbell so far today. And yeah, you're right, it's only a 2-point difference, but it could be much greater. And for Charleston Southern, they need to take advantage soon.
Mitter goes near side. Kalla hits the antenna, and a 3-0 run for the Buccaneers.
Nice pass by Fechter, but the set kind of surprisingly long. Emily Mitter usually good on that shoot set to the pin, but she pushed it too far past Kalla. Kalla was trying everything she could to get the ball in play, but instead it did clip the antenna. Immediate point for the Buccaneers.
Green on the back set, finds the floor. Man, her ability to locate shots has been effective here and pretty nice to watch.
You know, for Layla Green, she has been exceptionally impressive all season long. Her shot making has really, really been fantastic, and that's something Coach Gorel had talked about early on, was expanding the kind of the dimensions of the offensive hitters to incorporate some tips, incorporate some rolls, be able to hit from different angles, and Layla Green has certainly thrived with that training.
Already 3 kills tonight as Dayana Chara gets a point for the Buccaneers. A team that only dropped 1 set before this series. They get put away in 3 last night. Chloe Cook off hands, that's out. And the freshman with her first kill of the evening.
Nice job by Chloe Cook. She just swings high hands, she takes advantage of the block, and that block was in position. Cook smartly takes about a 90% swing, hits that ball into the block. At the very least, that ball was going to go up in the air so Campbell could potentially continue playing on instead of being stuffed.
To your point, Paul, Greg Gorel told us he wants his team to be more effective tooling blocks this year. And a prime example is there's a kill for Chara once again.
Nice job by Chara. Now that's the tool out of the middle, but a tool, a fantastic play to have as a go-to, especially on errant sets, and also when sets are perfect, but against excellent blocking teams. When you know you've got 4 big arms in front of you, a tool sometimes is the best plan of action to get out of that trap.
Charleston Southern 2.5 blocks a set. That's best in this conference. Now in system, Minnick to Thompson, right into the hands of Chloe Cook, the freshman.
Fantastic block on the side of Cook. Nice job by her. And then also the middle block came in to help out, and that was Melody Page helping out on that block. Nice job by Chloe Cook, though, to be positioned and to jump late long enough to really stop that attack.
So Thompson is a lefty from that right side. They've set her very deep in this match. Is Campbell picking up on that trend at all?
I think just a little bit. I think serving attackers deep can sometimes cause problems for offensive transition. So if you can serve an attacker deep in the service reception pattern, that prevents them from taking the approach that they want to take a big swing.
Good tip by Fechter to keep it up. Cook over hands. And now Nanaseni past the double. Maybe our longest rally of the evening. Cook, soft touch is perfect.
Nice job by Cook, and that comes from the bump set from Claren Fechter. Fechter smartly bump sets that ball to about 5x5, 5 feet off the net. No risk in case it goes a little tighter, and then Cook does the rest smartly. Instead of coming in with power, the off speed, Charleston Southern on their heels, that ball goes down for a nice, easy tip point.
3 straight points for the Camels as Indigo Young is dug up by Page. There's Cook to free it over. So the head ref is not claiming a double touch at the net, and Greg Gorel has his contentions.
Yeah, apparently the call is that the ball glanced off another Campbell player. Maybe not as obvious a contact, but therein lies the last touch, then turns into the 4th touch.
James Sickinger is our lead referee at the top of the poll. And Paul, sometimes at the net, they'll give you that incidental contact when it touches net and then player. I'm a little surprised with that call, but I do understand it.
Yes, and that's one where it's a judgment call. Hey, if a ref's job was easy, everybody'd be doing it. You know, and for these guys, they've got to get off the fence and they make that call. I don't mind that call at all.
Back set for Minor is tough angle from Cook. Thompson to free it over.
Nice save by Minnick there.
Page has no trouble but hits it out. Just left of the line.
And nice save by Minnick to keep things going on the side of the Buccaneers. And for Campbell, they did get freed up in the middle with Melody Page, but she swung and just sent that ball just out.
An ace. Elle McFatrich getting Charleston back to a tie game.
And Campbell has had about a 2 or 3 point lead for most of this game. So for CSU to bring it back to a tie at 15, pretty good on Charleston Southern just to work their way out of some rough passing early on in this match.
Rieger with strong hands at the net. Menz rolls to the far side. A one-handed set, it works. Rieger finds the near line.
Nice save by Rieger, and that's where there's some benefits to being super long. Most middle blockers wouldn't have been able to reach that one-handed set. Instead, Rieger, exceptionally long at the net. She's able to get her fingertips on it, push that ball down. No chance for Campbell to make the dig.
6th assist for Emma Minnick. Cook just got that over the antenna, very close.
A good save by Cook, but only enough just to survive the rally.
Rieger hits it in down the line, and the Buccaneers with a 2-point lead.
And they're going to call a review on this one. I think they're going to review that ball was either in or out. I saw the fist go up for the official, but instead now I'm seeing that it is a timeout. We'll have to see what comes of this.
A 5-0 run for Charleston Southern, who has drastically exceeded expectations coming into this year, Paul. They were picked 7th in the Big South. And what have you thought about their ability to climb the ladder and now be in contention as a 2 or 3 seed in this league?
I think some of it is just a change of blood with Coach McFatrich in his 2nd year out there. He's just really kind of regathering the troops and just really trying to keep the team together and get his philosophy. He talks a little bit about nicknames to try to keep the team loose. He usually calls players by their nicknames, so they don't even have the name spit out, and the nicknames kind of tie to something with their personality. So I think a big part of it is he is trying to get their personality to show as players out on the floor, and when it's more fun, it's a lot easier to grind it out and make improvements in a hurry.
Especially when they go at home and beat Winthrop basically 5 out of 6 sets, dominate those 2 matchups, then head to Radford against a first-year head coach and get 2 wins. And here they are now trying to bounce back from a loss yesterday. A quick turnaround, but nothing new at the collegiate volleyball level. One night to the next afternoon.
Yes, and this year there is no such thing as normal. You know, you could get a game delayed, and then you're playing games back to back. It's just the way it goes this year in the season of the pandemic.
Claren Fechter forced to bump it to Cook, and the freshman misses the line.
Couple of nice outlet bump sets by Claren Fechter, and that one for Cook. Cook, I think, was trying to be just a little bit too perfect, trying to stripe that line instead of just trying to rip the line, either get the tool or at least keep that ball in play. That's an error that she'd really like to have back.
Cook on the back set, that's a bullet. Stops the 6-0 run.
Fantastic effort on the swing, and I like the setting decision to go back to Cook after the error. Instead of going away from her, the goal was to get Cook back in on the action, get her back in the positive, and she does just that with a booming swing from the right side.
Rieger right in system to the back line.
Nice job by Rieger. Another spot to the back right zone, and part of why that was available, the block wasn't quite there, and also Rieger went over of what remained of the late block to begin with. So that's quite an advantage for Rieger to take that swing into that right back zone for a point.
5 kills in this first set. Rieger had just 4 kills all of last night.
And
excellent serve there from Thompson.
Absolutely. And I think that for Rieger, there's a piece of Rieger that wants to do better on that one as well. So while Rieger with 4 kills yesterday, 5 today, I think she looks at that scoreboard and says, hey, there's no way I'm walking out of this floor again with only 4 kills, and the team counts on her, and sure enough, 5 early on, and they take a 2-point lead.
Rieger just got a piece of it, but that's enough. Miner could not save it. This match was squared at 15, and here come the Buccaneers on a run, looking to earn their first set of this series.
And the Buccaneers were down by 2 or even 3 earlier on in this set. They put on that 5-point run, as you had discussed earlier, to go from being down 15-12 to up 17-15. Since then, Charleston Southern with all the momentum here late in set 1.
Layla Green skies in from the back, dug out. Now Thompson to the back row. Green over the double. Was there hands? No, there was not. Point Charleston.
Oh, and just a near make by Layla Green. She snapped that ball to the right position. There was nobody home, but that ball sailed long by maybe just a foot.
Timeout, Greg Gorel and Campbell. And how about the infectious energy of the Buccaneers here in day 2?
They're looking good, and when we come back, I'm not sure what adjustment Campbell can make. Normally, we like to have some answers over here. You need to do this, you need to do that. It really starts with the passing. Campbell has not been in system, so it really starts with just a quality pass where they can run some offense. So far, it's been Outlet City. We've seen more set attempts from Fechter than we have from the 2 setters for Campbell.
Well, what have the Buccaneers done this year? They first of all built on a fantastic last season. How about this start at 4-1? Their best in 5 years now. We've mentioned Rieger throughout this series, but Paul makes this offense impressive. Top 5 in 7 different categories.
Yes, and it is a team sport, and if you're only getting it done offensively in kills, well, that means that you're missing out on blocks, you're missing out on defense, and maybe you're getting aced too much. But to be top ranked speaks to the balance in coaching and training that Coach McFatrick has been providing here over the last now year and a half.
And it all starts with Paige Rieger, who has 5, now 6 kills in this set. She averages 4 a set to lead the conference.
And that's more like it, considering she only had 4 yesterday. I know you mentioned it earlier on, so I think there's a little bit of Rieger that's fired up. And also Coach McFatrick said, hey, probably said, we need more of you if we're going to be competitive in the second day of this doubleheader.
Rieger forced to bump set this to Chara, and an excellent swing for the point.
And I like that smart swing from number 9, Diana Chara. For Chara, instead of going bombs away, she just snaps that ball into some open space. An easy point for Chara.
Layla Sarvis wants to continue this 3-0 spurt. Green slides in and is denied by Rieger.
Yeah, and that's probably the first mistake we've seen from Layla Green. Layla Green goes right into the teeth of the Rieger block. She should be going line or high angle, trying to snap somehow over Rieger. If she can cut it, that's great, but that one went right into the blocking hands of Rieger. Nice job by Rieger to be in position to stuff down the top attacker for Campbell in Layla Green.
We mentioned how difficult it is to sweep an opponent. We're seeing that a lot exhibited today. That time, a point for Layla Green going cross court.
Yeah, and that's just what the doctor ordered, a nice hard cut to get away from Rieger's block. I can't say enough about the Rieger block. It's not just long, but it's well positioned. Very impressed with her blocking so far today.
Rieger also leads this conference in blocks, as you'd imagine. A lot of things she's doing well. Minnick with a tight set to Rieger on the backside. Chance for Sarah Kalla over the double. Great defense. Sarvis flees it over. Kalla's second swing is long. Point Charleston Southern, setting up set point.
Yep, Kalla was going for high hands, but she couldn't get them. Instead, that ball sails long, and several set points are coming up for Charleston Southern.
First time on the service line here, Angelica Russin. Let's see if the Buccaneers can take set 1 after being swept yesterday. Mitter in system goes to Kalla, hits the antenna, And the Buccaneers take set one, 25-18.
Kala trying for that line shot, but instead that ball clipped the antenna. That's an immediate point for Charleston Southern, and definitely the start Charleston Southern wanted after really having a rough outing yesterday.
When we come back, set two here in Bowie's Creek. It's the Buccaneers taking the early one, 25-18.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
Fresh vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Pepsi Wild Cherry.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Campbell facing a rare look in this matchup. Have not dropped a set at home all year, but it's the Buccaneers hitting 156 in this first set. And more importantly, they hold Campbell to a negative hit percentage to take set one.
Kind of a rough start for the Campbell Camels. The problems really showed themselves midway through the set. The passing started to go south. Campbell had at one point a 2-point lead, up 15-12, but after that, only 3 more points for Campbell, while CSU with 13 more to finish things off. So it was really on the passing side, and how we really see that show itself in the statistics. Assists, Fechter, the libero for Campbell, leads the way along with the setter midder with 3 assists apiece. So for the offense to do the work that it needs to do, that for Campbell's just got to pass a little bit better so that midder and then also the other setter can get things going offensively.
For David McFatrich, he loved the loose nature of this club, how they've been able to exceed expectations to start this year, and maybe the first time all weekend we've seen the energy from this club.
Yes, and we were talking about it a little bit earlier. It's a positive energy, it's a positive vibe, and it's easy to get positive when you start out 4-0 on the season. And so even one loss yesterday, they were competitive games, competitive sets. So I think they came off of yesterday's game with something to learn and just a chance to reset for today's 2 o'clock tilt.
Charleston Southern leads this conference in blocks. They had 4 in the first set, trying to play like Texas State, the nation's leader in total blocks. Here's Page defeating the block of Rieger.
Well, we talked a little bit about passing. Well, that's one way to do it. If you could get that pass, then that ball goes in with a quality quick set to Melody Page. Page works her way around Rieger and knocks that ball down for the first point of the game.
Rieger dug up by Cook. Here's Layla Green. Thompson trying to save it. Give Green 5 kills.
And good work by Maddie Miner on that set. She still goes tempo set out to Layla Green, even though she was at least 15 feet, the setter, away from the net. Good job to get that ball to Layla Green. Layla Green takes care of business.
Rieger off hands of Green for the point. Already 7 kills, and Rieger's hitting .370 today.
7 kills. That's not a bad start for Rieger. and Charleston Southern needs more of that from her. And this is an opportunity now where Campbell can take advantage now that Rieger's off the floor for 3 rotations, now with Angelika Russin back to serve.
Russin out of Poland, was coached by her mom at the club level, came to the States for a visit, fell in love with Charleston, as many do, and here she is 2 years later. Men's playing a joust at the net. Good block up front with Minnick, the setter, doing her part.
Good coverage by Campbell. Campbell keeps getting blocked, but they have defensive coverage behind that block.
Indigo Young shoots
saves.
it long, and a long rally goes to the Camels.
Yes, and Campbell, good things happen when you just keep a rally going. That's a good example. In this case, the result was an error by Indigo Young, but that doesn't happen if the Camels don't keep a few of those blocks from going down to the floor on their side.
An ace for Claren Fechter. 3rd ace for the Camels tonight.
So after a rough ending to the first set, Campbell definitely hitting on all cylinders here early in set 2 after Charleston Southern won set 1 going away.
You do wonder how focus and momentum can change things for a team that had been rolling this year, 6-1. That block touches Chara on the swing, and Kate Menz is all over it.
Monster block from Kate Menz, and joining her, Haley Wilson on that block. Nice job on the block by both of them to get in and get that work done.
Minnick goes near side to Chara, right into the net. And all of a sudden, Paul, in set 2, the Buccaneers are hitting -200 after hitting nearly 200 in the first set.
Yep, and a missed opportunity there. The Campbell block bit on the Emma Minnick decoy, but the set 2 Chara was really not what Chara needed to take a swing. Chara should have taken something off of that to keep that ball in play.
Thompson hits absolute rockets from the back row. And Menz misses long.
I like the idea with Menz there. Some wide open space. She took a little bit off of it, but that ball sailed on her. She probably got under it a little bit. That's a ball she'd like to have back.
Keep in mind for Campbell, Layla Green rotates into the front row in the next rotation. She leads this team with 5 kills. And they serve it right to her. Here she comes. Point Campbell.
Yep, and that was really deceptive. It sure looked like she was not in the front row, but instead actually she was, and then she transitions in for a combination play, running almost like a middle quick and a half to put the ball down. So nice dynamic play and a good play call on the side of Campbell.
Oh, right, as long as she rotates in front of the back row player, she can, yep, absolutely. Good free ball over there from Sarvis. Wilson in system, gets hands. Dug up by Fechter, who led this team with 21 digs yesterday. Great scoop by Minnick. And Chara off the hands of Wilson for the point.
Nice swing by Chara to finish it off. Good long rally. We're starting to see both teams get settled in and start playing some better volleyball, both on the passing side, service reception. We're seeing some good defensive coverage, which I love to see. The rallies where offensive attackers are the defender behind the attacker is getting underneath them to make sure that if blocked, they can keep the ball alive. Great on both squads so far here in set 2.
Layla Green comes soaring in. An attempt is pretty nice, but can't get it up for Fechter, and here come the Buccaneers with 2 straight.
And on those last 2 points, the Buccaneers have kept an eye on Layla Green. And now I think the R2, the official, is talking to Charleston Southern saying, hey, if you're going to rally and get pumped up, then you need to do it in your huddle and don't taunt the other squad. Now, that's an area that's very sensitive to me. I think that as long as you're not taunting, I think you should be able to celebrate. We see enough in basketball. We see a lot in a lot of other sports. I'd really like to see players be allowed to celebrate just as much in volleyball as they do in any other sport.
Wilson misses to the near line. And certainly to your point, you do want to celebrate. You don't want to necessarily point at an opponent and incite any type of rivalry, but I do like the ability to chant at an opposing team or bring out that energy.
Absolutely, and I do pick on basketball a little bit, but what happens after a dunk in college or in the pros? That dunker almost automatically tries to stand over the defender. Now that's not right, but if we're going to allow it in college basketball, then a little bit of energy in volleyball should be allowed as well.
Nonaseni with a perfect touch. No need to taunt, but she's got the point nonetheless.
Absolutely, no need to taunt, and she did the low-calorie version there with a nice light tip. No calories coming out of that shoulder. Instead, puts that short. In fact, she fooled Fechter. Fechter was on her heels awaiting a bigger swing, and that's why Fechter couldn't quite get to that tip.
What I love, too, Nonaseni's a psychology major, so if anyone knows how to manipulate a play at the net, it's Gabby out there.
I love it, and she certainly did that to the freshman Fechter on that point.
Kala with a cross-court swing for the point.
Nice job by Kala, and for Kala to get untracked, that would be a pretty big deal for Campbell. She's going a little bit slow, but some of the sets she has received have been pushed maybe a little too far past the pin, so for her, still hitting in the negative, but that kill will go a mile toward getting her back on track.
4th service ace for Campbell tonight. That's Layla Green. She now has 2 of those herself. It's interesting with Green. She leads the team in aces and errors. You take the good with the bad, and it's starting to click here in the second set.
Yes, it's starting to click, and for Campbell's trying to take advantage of a 2-player passing pattern of Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern only with 2 players passing, so they've got more responsibility out on the floor. So Campbell's going to go ahead and serve aggressive and try to serve into gaps there to try to score with the ace.
Peyton Thompson, the South Florida transfer, hits absolute missiles, regardless of where she is on the floor.
She is no joke. She's got a gun, and that is a hard one to keep up with. Back row or front row, she's the real deal.
And I think there might be a discussion about an illegal substitution, not having the players in the right rotation, so a point Campbell.
Now, a very interesting call, and the call is against Indigo Young. They motioned number 8, and the R2 is shaking his head no. So whatever David McFatrish is arguing, he's being denied there by the R2. So the R2 is going to recheck the score sheet just to give it another look, and they'll sort things out one way or the other. And this is probably a good break for Charleston Southern anyway. I don't think that there's gamesmanship here. I do think there was some confusion that they were sorting out, but anything that Charleston Southern can do to slow the serve of Campbell right now and Campbell's great serving run, I don't think they mind.
Nice serve to the deep corner, forcing McFatrish back. Nonaseni nearly had the floor, and an illegal lift gives the point to the Buccaneers.
Yep, just trying to make the save off of the scrappy up on the side of Campbell, but instead the result is a double contact. That's an immediate call, no issues there.
Did you like my toss, though? I mean, I went right to the line judge.
Hey, you know where the ball needs to go. You're a former player, and I would expect nothing less from you.
Chloe Cook touches hands for the point, keeping the lead at 3.
Yep, I'd expect nothing less from you, Evan. And you know, you've certainly raised the bar in ball retrieval. Very impressive.
The toughest part's when a basketball comes at you. A little heavier,
yep,
a little faster, speed.
Well, and especially if you called a volleyball game earlier, then that ball, you know, you're a little distracted. You're used to that lighter ball, then that orange heavy ball comes at you, boy. That's got to be tough.
Nice little back set there. Minnick flips it over his shoulder.
Fantastic dump by Minnick. And that's a place that setters love to go if they can get a quality hand on it, is just to that super duper shallow left
and you have to keep
ball.
the hand firm, right, to avoid the double touch or the lift.
Yes.
On that type of approach.
Yes. And, yeah, the looser it is, it also results in a slower contact with the better chance to get dug too. So a little bit firmer there is generally the best bet, and it worked out on that point for sure.
Back and forth in the second set. Rieger goes cross court. Fechter could not save it, and it's back to 1.
And this is a little bit like the first set where Campbell had the lead, and then a good run by Charleston Southern got Charleston Southern ahead, but that time they stayed ahead the entire way. Right now, this appears to be Charleston Southern's run that they were waiting for here in the second set.
It was a 6-1 run in the first that changed things halfway through. Look at the bodies to the floor, including Minnick. Now Page finds the back corner.
And that's just what you want to do after an opposing team scraps the ball up and gives you the free ball. You want to run as fast as you can, in part because Charleston Southern had not retreated into the correct defensive position. So the faster that Campbell can go out of that free ball, the better. Nice job on them to finish that off.
Thompson from the back row has an absolute cannon, and there it is. Her Sorry, her third kill of this match. Feels like it's a lot more, but she's been effective.
It really does. I think what that points to are her good kills have been really, really good, and even her swings that have been dug, they've been dug, and maybe not the best in-system digs by Campbell because they were so powerful. Good on Peyton Thompson, the long lefty swing out of the back row for the kill there.
Thompson averages 9 kills a match on the year. Green did not get hands, and this match is tied at 12.
And you can see a little bit of frustration from number 17, Layla Green. She knows she took the right shot, but she made a similar stroke like that earlier in the game that also went out. So I think she's frustrated that she is trying to get that one to go, but it hasn't gone for her just yet.
Melody Page and system is tough to stop.
Great job, and that set was a little bit off the net, so she really had to reach behind her, and then to try to snap that thing back down, not easy. So she made it look easy. Great job by Melody Page on that one.
A little flexibility never hurt. How about Claren Fechter, her second ace of this match, and a 2-0 response after CSU tied it.
Nice serve by Fechter, and what Fechter's doing is just a basic, straightforward serve. She's bringing it over. She's bringing it into the seam in between the two passers for CSU in Layla Sarvis and the libero in Elle McFatrick.
We'll take a timeout. Campbell trying to even up this match, and we return on ESPN+. Charleston Southern taking set one. Campbell looking to even it here through 2 sets. You see head coach Greg Gorel talking to his assistants out of this timeout. And Greg said after a loss this past Sunday, his team was locked in at practice. They knew what it needed to take, and we saw that in that 3-set match yesterday.
Yes, they certainly recouped and regathered themselves after the split against Winthrop. Winthrop always kind of a thorn in the side of Campbell, so Winthrop really took it to him in the second game to try to really kind of throw off Campbell. I think Campbell was rolling and kind of got a lesson from that game. Maybe not so much from a maturity standpoint, but the lesson is, hey, in these long weekend setups, you're really playing one big game. You can't just be happy about the first day of the weekend victory.
Deanna Chara with her 5th kill. Green flies in and a perfectly placed kill.
And I love that combination play in the middle. She comes in, flying in for the swing. Haley Wilson essentially comes in on the decoy on the 31. It's almost your classic X play of sorts, and you got to know that they're going to go to Layla Green. She makes no mistake putting that ball into the left back.
Flying down the pipes, one of my favorite swings in volleyball. So tough to stop. Chara off hands of Wilson. Gets it right back, puts it away.
And Campbell's back in business. Why? 2 good quality passes here, and they're also coming off of good serves. Emily Mitter, nice job by her to put a little bit of pressure on the 2-player pattern of CSU.
Fechter with a nice dig deep. That's a tough bump set to Green, who rolls it over. Thompson off the hands of Green. Who's going to make the run here in the second set? That is out of bounds, point Charleston Southern.
Yeah, you got to know that Charleston Southern was going to answer back there. I like the swings of Green, and Green is continuing to be the player that Campbell leans on, regardless of if she's getting stopped a little bit, getting blocked a little bit. But they're working Green into that combo play in the middle. You talked about coming out of the pipe. They talked pipe into the front row, but still, anything they can do to get Layla Green going is a big deal.
Green with the return, now the swing, and touching the back line. Layla Green up to 8 kills.
Nice job by Layla Green. She goes into the deepest part of the court. She was hitting from the right front. She sends that ball deep into the right back.
And Paul,
Great
she had
job by
struggled
her.
to hit those deep shots. What an adjustment to put it down in a crucial spot.
I think part of the adjustment was wait a little bit longer. If your ball is sailing, then that means you're maybe a little bit underneath it. So she waited, made the adjustment, as you mentioned, gets that kill to go.
Minner gets a touch on it to keep it alive. Wilson goes left-handed for the point.
That's a nifty play. I think Charleston Southern was expecting Chloe Cook to come in and make the play. Instead, the long lefty touch. I wouldn't call it a swing, but Haley Wilson puts that ball down.
Haley Wilson second in this league in hit percentage. Really, a senior's taken huge growth in her production as she does not get a touch. Point Buccaneers to cut it to 3.
I still like the strategy there by Campbell. They're trying to force that middle a little bit. They try to force that ball to Haley Wilson. Now, the set was a little bit errant. It was a little bit long, and that was going to be a difficult set to hit anyway.
And what a huge rotation. Paige Rieger comes in for her 3 turns in the front row.
Yep, Campbell's going to have an answer around the long block of Rieger.
So they go to Sarah Kalla for the cross-court swing. That's her 4th kill.
Great job, and in that one, Rieger was nowhere to be found. Rieger was hanging on and sticking with the decoy of Haley Wilson on that one. So there was open spaces for Sarah Kalla to put that ball down.
McFatridge trouble with the serve. Nanaseni goes over the hands. Nice job by Rieger to knock that ball up. Again, Rieger with a touch. Thompson's turn to swing, and no hands involved there.
Big swing by Thompson. Can't say enough about that large, long lefty power that she brings. There was open space on that block. She's not going to make a mistake when she has a seam like that through a block to take a swing on. Great set, too, on the side of CSU.
Peyton Thompson with her 50th kill of the season here in the first 6 matches. The roll shot is easily dug up. So Thompson lets it fly and misses long.
That's a sigh of relief for Campbell. She had been true from the back row. Now, from the back row, Campbell had been digging it on occasion, but for that ball to go out with just a pure error, I think that's a fortunate break for Campbell as Campbell gets to 20-16 here, closing in on set number 2.
Maddie Miner to serve, looking to even this match. Campbell has had success serving today as Rieger gets a touch. Page, a smack to the court.
And it all started with Fechter. Nice ball by Fechter to get that ball up. And I can't say enough about the finish by Page. Page makes no mistake, and almost a zero tempo set, and Page puts that ball down.
The torque she can bring on that swing is pretty impressive to watch. Her 4th kill, and we've seen in this match, Paul, Campbell feed the middles a little more with Wilson and Page in this 2nd set. How has that opened up their hitters on the outside?
Well, firstly, it takes pressure off. In set 1, the pressure was really on Kalla and on Cook and Layla Green. But now, working that ball from the middle, Campbell can do that as long as the passing continues as well as it did.
You see this start for Campbell, their best in 4 years. That team won 20 matches that year. Now, they're not going to play enough to match that record. But what they have done, look at those assists per set. 3rd in the country, so fantastic. Tonight, already 20 assists thus far. And certainly, Paul, you see Chloe Cook, the standout freshman. She's a big reason why Greg Worrell's confident in this club.
Yes, Chloe Cook, 3-time Big South Freshman of the Week. And we haven't had that many weeks yet, maybe 4 or 5. So good on Cook. And Coach Worrell mentioned to us before the season started, one of the players he was very excited about regarding newcomers was Chloe Cook. He pointed her out very directly and said, hey, she's going to be a big impact player that nobody has seen yet here in the Big South.
And any program has the experience of that extra fall season, essentially, a whole extra season of practice to get you ready for the spring.
Yep, even better on Cook. That gives Cook all of the experience. So she's not a rookie anymore. She might be a freshman, but she's not a rookie, only being on campus for like 3 or 4 weeks before starting to play.
Cook got it up. Miner forced to free it over. Rieger right back to it. Thompson to the floor. Minnick with a great scoop. What a rally here. Out to Cook. There's the kill. Campbell 3 points from the set.
Yep, and you were discussing, hey, what happens when Campbell goes to the middle? Melody Page had been hot on that last rotation. Melody Page goes up, nice decoy, and instead of being set, that ball gets kicked out to Chloe Cook, who we talked about, that fantastic freshman. She makes no mistake. She bounces that ball for a kill.
Gets her 4th kill of the match. Thompson, watch this rocket. Finds Miner cross court, and Maddie Miner knew it was coming, still couldn't get to that ball.
Yep, and I like what they drew up there, and you could see Coach motion out there. Hey, why not go to our hot hand in Peyton Thompson? She has taken the best swings. She may not have the best hitting percentage right now, but she's taken the best swings so far for the Buccaneers today.
Layla Sarvis back to serve. Back set to Cook. Off hands, and that is down for the point. That's a tough angle to sneak it through to get it past the size of Charvis.
Yes, and what a great rotation for Cook. A couple of great kills and some good transition defense there as well. So good on Cook to open up this lead, especially on the right side in that rotation. She now rotates back to go ahead and serve.
Here's a rare substitution for Charleston Southern. Kaylee Amons, her first set of the year, had been out early in the season, got 2 matches in. Now she is back for her first rotation in this series. Chara lobs it over. Page has been dominant in the second set.
And Kaylee Amons comes in, and she doesn't give the same look block-wise to Campbell as did Rieger. Makes no mistake on the Campbell side. I always say make no mistake, but
and an ace secure set 2, Paul. That's been the story of this match. Campbell serving 6 aces tonight, and we are dead even 1 set apiece. When we come back, who's going to win this? Maybe go 4, might even be 5 tonight. Let's see here on ESPN Plus.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities.
In our state and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
It's bow time.
Dad, we're hungry.
Yep, to the grill.
Out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Game on. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of scratch-made chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea.
It's bow time.
In the last 10 years, Emerge Orthopedics has really been on the forefront of doing orthopedic urgent care. We realize that a lot of these accidents happen after hours, and patients want to get seen and get diagnosed and get taken care of. Emerge has a number of orthopedic urgent cares throughout the Triangle, and some of which are open 7 days a week, open till 9 o'clock at night, and that's been a huge benefit to patients. Patients routinely give us compliments on that and the care they receive there.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy pockets. And now they're known for stuffing those pockets with cheese. I love you, cheese. Get a new epic stuffed crust pizza with 1 topping for just $12. Papa John's.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities.
In our state and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
It's bow time.
Dad, we're hungry.
Yep, to the grill.
Out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Game on. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of scratch-made chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea.
It's bow time.
In the last 10 years, Emerge Orthopedics has really been on the forefront of doing orthopedic urgent care. We realize that a lot of these accidents happen after hours, and patients want to get seen and get diagnosed and get taken care of. Emerge has a number of orthopedic urgent cares throughout the Triangle, and some of which are open 7 days a week, open till 9 o'clock at night, and that's been a huge benefit to patients. Patients routinely give us compliments on that and the care they receive there.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Papa John's is known for its crispy, fresh crust full of warm, fluffy pockets. And now they're known for stuffing those pockets with cheese. I love you, cheese. Get a new epic stuffed crust pizza with 1 topping for just $12. Papa John's.
Welcome back inside Gore Arena for the Geico Halftime Report. Hercules Tires, a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast. Right on our strength with Hercules Tires today. Let's see which team's going to ride out of here with a win. All even through 1 set. Campbell swept the matchup last night. It's been a really tight one tonight with CSU winning 25-18 and now Campbell winning 25-17 in set 2. Here we are, guys, with Paul McDonald, Evan Budrovich, and Paul, really serve, receive, and the ability of these teams to pass has been the story of this match.
Yes, it's really been the ball control. Charleston Southern has been hot and cold. Early on in set 1, not so much, and then they finished things very, very strong. After being down 15-12, they finish it off 25-18. Now in set 2, Campbell has really gotten the ball control going, and that's what's gotten them to be able to involve Melody Page. Melody Page has had a standout second set so far.
Page with 5 kills in that second set, really taking over for Campbell. And you see the numbers here in this matchup. Set 1, Campbell hit a negative hit percentage, but here in set 2, getting their swings going and really led by Layla Green, who had 8 kills. Very even across the board. Maybe the big difference has been those aces.
Yes, it's really been the serving, and for Campbell, they're serving against what's generally been a 2-player passing pattern on the side of the Buccaneers, so that's kind of unique. Generally in volleyball, you're seeing a 3-player pass. But for the Bucks, they're looking at a 2-player passing system. It allows for a little bit of a different offensive transition as long as the passing is going well, but it also means greater responsibility for a larger amount of the court.
We start set 3, Campbell to serve. And Paige Rieger with her first swing misses long. She's hitting 400 in this match, and what a nice adjustment from night 1 to night 2.
Yes, and hitting 400, but also just as important, she's putting the ball down already. 8 kills, doubling her entire total from yesterday of only 4 kills.
Deanna Chara touches hands. She had a more explosive swing that the Campbell coaching staff had thought coming into this matchup. And that's the fun nature of so early in conference play. You don't get a lot of tape on these kids as Green collects another kill. Give her 9.
Monster kill from Layla Green, and you've got to credit the set on that one. Emily Mitter with the shoot set that gets right onto the hands of Layla Green fast. She makes no mistake.
Chara gets a good piece of Haley Wilson for the point. And Deanna Chara has more swings than any player on this team. 18 attacks, give her 7 kills.
Yeah, and for Chara is really working the tool. She has hit several balls off the block of Campbell, so I think she is doing a great job recognizing that the block has closed. Well, what do you do when the block's closed up on you? You go for fingers, you go for the sides of hands to get kills.
Chara, the transfer from Cloud County Community College. Here she is again. Nicely dug up by Fechter. Kala from the back row, touches net and finds the floor.
I like that little roll shot from Kala. I think everybody was thinking that that ball was going to be a big swing from Kala, the Big South preseason player of the year. She attacks that ball from the back row, off speed, clips the tape, trickles down for a point.
Kala just over 3 kills a set this year. Maybe not the dominant number of kills as last season when she led the league in points per set, but a much more balanced team.
Great up by Fechter. Great stabbing dig. That allows Campbell to continue.
McFatridge gets it started. Fechter to the floor, and a point for Charleston Southern.
And Fechter on that second one couldn't quite get it up, but I love the effort from her. She's getting quality touches, definitely leading the way defensively for Campbell, as she has all season wearing that libero jersey.
Campbell against their opponents, the second best kill percentage. They make it really tough to put the ball down. Fechter's a huge part of that, as there's a service error for Minnick.
Yep, really 2 components to that. and you could add a third, but the two components are really a good quality block, also that backcourt defense, and I also argue that the best defense is a good quality serve. If the opposing team can't get in system, it's easier to defend those balls.
Deep serve for Sarvis. Thompson, that does touch line on the backside. Point Charleston Southern.
And that's just what they needed. Again, you've mentioned Thompson's name several times, so she's in a bad rotation on that particular one as a lefty hitting from the left side. That's not very easy to do. She stripes the line for a nice point to get out of the service rotation for them on that side.
You know how we said earlier Thompson didn't have many kills? Well, she's hurt us. Give her 7 now in this match. Heating up in this third set. Page in system has been brilliant tonight, hitting .420.
Great job by Page, and very, very fantastic set ball. The set from Emily Mitter. Mitter's been setting Page all around the middle, so not just the middle quick, but little 31s, some gap sets, and she's gone behind once so far today, behind on the back quick to Page. All of them, almost all of them, have been successful.
Thompson in rhythm, finds the near corner. And Peyton Thompson, so elusive, give her 7 kills tonight. She hit .333 in her debut in that sweep over Winthrop. It's not easy to do to hit over 300 against anybody.
Right, and when you don't wake up in the morning hitting .333, especially for a new squad, and she's playing with a new setter, new to her. So, for Thompson, good job by her to finish that off.
The double touch there on Maddie Miner. Not many of those for Miner this season. That was a bugaboo for her early in her career, and working with Coach Ryan Thompson, we've seen both her and Mitter be very good in setting.
They've been excellent here, and it's especially important for setters to be clean in a two-setter system. Hitters have a hard enough time receiving sets from a single setter during a game, let alone receiving sets from 2 different styles of sets from 2 different setters.
Sarah Collar with her 5th attacking error gives Charleston Southern the lead in the third.
Very uncharacteristic day from Sarah Collis, still hitting in the negative as we are now into set 3.
One thing about Campbell, they may not have Kala rolling today, but they have balance. That's why they've started 6-1.
Yep, they
Good
don't
recovery there from Miner.
Yep, they don't lean on Kala unless they have to, and it's nice when you've got all those different offensive components there behind you.
Peyton Thompson is in fuego here in Bowie's Creek tonight.
Well, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The rule on the floor right now for Thompson is if you didn't set Thompson, you made a mistake. Nice job by Thompson to finish that one off.
Dangerous float serve to Kate Menz. Page has a touch on it, and that does find the floor. How about Melody Page with 7 kills?
And I like the adjustment there, a little bit of a misconnect. So instead of swinging away and making a mistake, she goes with a little mini tip, micro tip. That ball goes down to the floor around the 10-foot line near the setter defensive position.
Worth noting, when Campbell has won a third set, they are 6-0. The only match they lost, they dropped the third set. Fechter to bump set it to Green, who goes to the far corner and finds the point.
Love that power alley swing from Layla Green. That set was off the net, so instead of trying to be perfect, take that high power angle left back for a left side hitter is the power angle. She does a great job getting that deep and down for a point.
Here's Sarah Kala, who led this conference in aces last year. Rieger goes into the net. That did not touch Page, so point Campbell.
A little bit of a low set from Emma Minnick. Minnick has been pretty clean and done some good things most of the day today. I think that was probably her first true miscue of the game.
Minnick averages 10 assists a set. You can't say that 10 times fast.
Nope.
Leading this conference. I'm going to call him 10 dimes. As there's Rieger taking advantage of the dime from Minnick.
That's right. You want to talk about a dime there. And what I like about Minnick there is she doesn't over-adjust. A lot of setters, if they set low, they set too high on the next ball. Instead, she gets it just right into the window of Rieger's arm swing. Rieger puts it down.
Paul, what's the key of shooting that set out to a tall player? Because you don't want to loft it up too high with that big wingspan.
I think the key is just a lot of practice and understanding your hitters. So it takes a lot of reps to work together on situations like that.
There's Rieger controlling the net, and Charleston Southern has tied it. They're now taking the lead, in fact.
Yep, and they can feel it too after a strong start from Campbell. You can see them jumping around. They're excited, and why wouldn't you be after a block like that?
Peyton Thompson serving with the lead in the third. Even her serves come off like a missile. Fun to watch.
Very good player.
Fechter elects to set it. And that ball heads towards this one. Nice job saving the GoPro.
Hey,
that's hundreds of dollars of equipment there.
Hey, you want to talk about a dime?
I think our producer, Seth Baker, would roll in his grave if he saw that thing break.
That's right.
He can't afford anything right now, but what a nice play.
Yeah, that's problematic. So, hey, I'm here for the team.
Evan Budrovich and Paul McDonald with you in this third set. There's a service ace for Thompson. And Charleston Southern now on a nice 3-0 run.
And it's a game of runs. Right now, Charleston Southern clicking on all cylinders after a good start from Campbell. But since then, Charleston Southern with the run. Rieger's been working her way into scoring a couple times, but it's really been Minnick making some nice decisions on the set.
Giveth and taketh away. An error by Thompson stops the run.
Good aggressive serving by Thompson. You know those aggressive serves, eventually there's going to be an error, but it's a risk-reward deal. On the prior point, the benefit of the aggressive serve was Campbell never really got settled to score, and on that one, unfortunately, that ball clips the tape, so Thompson will go back in service reception.
Layla Green with 26 attacks tonight. That leads all players. We'll see how involved she is here in the third, as Rieger had to reach way up for that one. Green back at it. McFetrich the touch. Now Nanaseni off the hands of Wilson, helping out by Menz.
Nice finish on that block. They were well positioned. Now, it was an out-of-system situation, so you had to know that Menz and Wilson were both prepared to make that block, but they were true to it by absolutely getting the stuff and not getting used by a tool.
That is out. Good effort there by Minnick.
Yep, and Minnick hit one of those earlier on today. That one goes a little bit strong and goes wide, and that was going to be a kill too. Campbell was not prepared to make that dig. It just sailed a little bit long.
We talk about great setters. I think of the likes of Siani Yamaguchi of Winthrop last year. An All-American, in fact, as Wilson takes the overpass for the point. Having a good setter is such a unique skill set and really can translate your team from one range to the entire opposite.
Yep, it really is. I look at it, you can correlate to other sports. You talk about the quarterback in football. You might even talk about the catcher in baseball, in that they see all and they have to dictate the tempo of the game. So having a good setter situation is always a big deal for either squad in a volleyball game. So it's unique that Campbell uses two to the benefit of a 6-2 and running a lot more offense. But since the run by CSU, Campbell has answered back, and now we're going to get a timeout from the Buccaneers.
Welcome back inside Gore Arena, midway through this third set, and Paige Rieger with 10 kills in this match. That's her fifth double-figure scoring night of her career.
Rieger with the off-speed. Normally she's been cutting hard swings to either sideline, deep and short. This time it's more of a tip to the middle of the floor, and that catches Campbell on their heels. Nice timeout by the Buccaneers to get out of that point.
Maddie Miner floats a beauty on the slide that Wilson's blocked. Now the Bucks in transition. McFatridge to Rieger. That is long.
And that's another sigh of relief from Campbell. Rieger had a chance at some wide open space. Campbell had not quite retreated into a proper defensive position, but that ball sails long. So the Buccaneers kind of bail out Campbell on that one. And now back to serve is going to be Emily Mitter with the setter switch for Campbell.
There's Emily Mitter to serve. Gave McFatridge trouble. Chara with space, right up dug by Gross. That might have gone out. Sarvis plays it. Chara goes down line for the point.
Nice swing by Chara, just takes a quality rip. Yes, that ball could have gone out, but I like for CSU, if there's any doubt, why not play it? There's no sense in letting a ball go, especially when you've got the offensive prowess of Diana Chara over there to finish that line shot off.
Chara for the Thunderbirds of Cloud City Community College, 800 kills in 2 years, very effective. Cook down line, beats Thompson.
Nice job by Cook, and Cook is trending toward 800 kills herself, and it's going to be a little while, but she has been a threat ever since she donned the Camels jersey several weeks ago.
She's 10% of the way there. Actually, my math's bad. She is 8 of 800. That's what? 1/10 of 1%. I don't know. Not a math major. Paul, help me out here.
she's got some work to do.
That's Sarah Kalla.
I think we can.
This is long.
I think we can agree that she's got some work to do, but she is trending positively. But yes, she is well away from 800.
Oh, 1%. She's 1% of the way.
Yeah,
then.
she'd be 1.
Okay, there we go. Thank God for the Google machine. Here's Emma Minnick to serve. One thing I do know about Minnick, she's got 24 assists tonight. Mitter, the back set to Cook. Now the Buccaneers trying to tie it in the third. Kalla, roll shot, perfectly placed.
What a wonderful swing by Kalla. Instead of doing anything, I just love the discipline from Campbell. They don't have to swing hard all the time. Instead, she snaps one deep into the corner. That's probably about 75% speed on that swing. Well, why not? If that space is there, you can be more accurate if you take a little bit off of it anyway. As long as there's nobody there, it's the right place to go.
Fourth service error for Campbell tonight. And now the Buccaneers bring back in Gabby Nanaseni.
And you got to look to either pin here on this one. You've got Layla Green on the left. You've got Chloe Cook on the right. So nice offensive situation here.
They target Kalla on the serve, who gets it right back. And on a deep set, frees it over. Thompson off the head of Page. Good defense from Campbell. Thompson dug up by Fechter. Cook plays it over. Oh no. Double touch. Point Charleston Southern.
And I stand corrected. The long locks of Melody Page obscured her jersey number there. In fact, it is Melody Page in the front row.
Both her and Layla have two of the best hairdos in the league.
Fantastic. Long stuff. I don't know how you can manage such long hair, but for me, with none.
Well, you're bald, so that's a whole different equation.
Yes, managing any hair is not even a problem for me.
The key to hair product, all about the Suavecito. How about that kill from Indigo Young down the pipe?
Fantastic work by Indigo. Nice combination play. She works her way into the middle. Really, really surprises Campbell. Campbell had not seen that play from CSU yet, and Indigo puts it down with power and energy. You can see they're pumped up after that play set.
Indigo Young, 8th in the country in hit percentage coming into this week. She's had a tough start. Now her second kill tonight. Holweger with a great serve to Cook. Kalla bodies it up. Now Thompson, blocked by Kalla. Point Campbell.
And Kalla with that big block into the deep court. Blocks like that are very, very hard to save on the side of the Buccaneers. A block that goes straight down, you've got coverage. You've got some players there that can maybe chip it up. You even made the motion here a moment ago. Just any sort of chip to get it up. And that ball goes into the deep court. Not much of a chance. Campbell ties it back up.
Sarah Kalla has worked very hard on her blocking. That was a big key for her this summer. And an ace for Maddie Miner gives Campbell the lead.
That ball, the bottom just fell out of that serve. That ball dropped in front of McFatrish, and there was nothing she could do. That ball fell to the floor. Nice ace for her.
7 aces for Campbell tonight. Serving has give Charleston a bunch of trouble in this set. Nonaseni through the hands of the block. That's what a great third set here, Paul. 18 a pop. Someone's got to take the lead eventually.
Yes, and we're going to go back and forth here. And one of the things you got to watch for now, Rieger has rotated back into the front court. So Campbell's going to have to deal with Rieger for 3 rotations. And we'll have to see if Campbell has an answer for that.
Now McFatrich to serve. Page in system. Nearly double figures, 8 kills for Page.
And Page was not worried about the Rieger block, and you could see her shake her head after the swing. She knew she took the right swing, works her way around the elbows of Rieger. That ball goes straight down for a point.
Not too many times you see a 6-foot middle have confidence against a 6'5" blocker in front of her. Minnick against the net, finds Rieger, who returns the favor.
And you can see Rieger giving the eye back to Page. It's been Page, Melody Page versus Rieger here on a couple of these rotations. And I don't think Rieger liked how Melody Page reacted to her kill, so Rieger gave her a little bit back on that one.
A lot tougher to trash talk with a mask on this year. I love how it's back and forth now.
It is. You just don't quite know from here what they're saying, which probably is a good thing.
Body language tells the story. Rieger the touch. Bump set to Menz. That's tight, and she finds the floor.
Fantastic job by Menz to work her way around Rieger with that tight set. And I was surprised that Menz took the big swing, but I think Menz saw the kind of the over adjust by Rieger coming all the way over to her. She gets the cutting swing to go down.
Minnick goes middle to Rieger, and Fechter's save, not enough. All even at 20. This has been a match of runs, Paul. Campbell to end the first set went on a 6-1 run. Charleston Southern did much the same in the first set. Who's going to make the run in set 3?
Well, I still like CSU until Rieger goes out of the back, out to the back row. Rieger's been looking good here, and the serve from Sarvis is going to tell us a lot.
Tough return for Elise Gross. And a block. That's Minnick, the center, putting it down.
Nice block by Minnick. Minnick and Rieger come together, and good block, but I know Layla Green will be back at it again. She was in a bit of an out-of-system situation, and the result is the stuff block by CSU to take a 1-point lead here late in set 3.
When you run that 5-1, you put a lot of responsibility on your setter. There's a dig by Menz. And a illegal touch on Layla Green, the lift.
Yep, she had the right idea, but that ball double contacted off of her hands. She would have easily gotten the point back, but instead that ball contacted twice on the way out of her hands. Timeout to Campbell.
Charleston Southern, a high-energy club that had started this year 4-0. They're looking to bounce right back tonight here in set 3. A reminder, Geico is a proud sponsor of this presentation. You can save even more today by switching to Geico, so check it out at geico.com. I might need some insurance for our GoPro first and foremost, but secondly, David McFatrich's club showing a lot more energy here in this one, and he said one thing too, as he said, he's very proud of this team, regardless of how they play, which is obviously very sentimental, but his team has responded to that energy.
Yes, and he's very honest about how this team came to be. He speaks very highly about the players he inherited. He speaks very honestly about some of his recruits. He's like, hey, you know, we had a kid on a visit. I didn't really do a whole lot, but they loved the campus. But I'm so thrilled that they're here. He's a very, very humble coach when it came to talking about his players and just how proud he was of what they've done and what they've accomplished. Clearly a fantastic start for CSU, one of the best starts they've had in several years.
Charleston Southern has not had a winning season in conference. You have to go back over a decade since the last time they had a winning year. And Christy Moorbury, the former coach, she got them to 8-8 in 2016, but not much success since. And here they are at 4-1, looking to take set 3. Maddie Minor to Green. Redemption after the block. She gets the point.
Yep, and why not go back to Green? The way the pass was, Green was really the easiest ball to set, but also that also means that the defense of CSU knows that that ball is coming. Didn't matter. Layla Green ran that ball fast enough, puts that ball down for a point, and a good job on the set of Maddie Miner to get that ball to go.
Dangerous serve from Mitter. Chara goes off the head of Wilson, and CSU 2 points from the set.
And now here's that key point I was talking about before. CSU is solid, and you get Indigo Young on the floor as a middle, but that also means Rieger, who was dominant in those 3 rotations, is now off the floor. If CSU is going to wrap it up, they're going to have to wrap it up without Rieger on the floor.
Mitter goes middle to Wilson, little off balance for the point, and Haley Wilson with her 4th kill.
Well, and sometimes beauty points don't really matter. A bit of a missed contact, a little bit of missed rhythm, but you've got to credit Haley Wilson for staying in the air long enough to get the contact that she needed minimally to get that ball to go down.
McFatrich, dangerous touch, and a point for Indigo Young. Set point, Charleston Southern.
Nice job by Indigo Young. She goes over to attack the left side, and Indigo Young, one of the top attack percentage players in the NCAA. She gets that tool off the Haley Wilson arms, and it goes down for a point.
Minnick serves for the set. Kala rolls one deep to McFatrich. Green, a good dig. The overpass, however, results in set point. There's Young cleaning it up, and the Buccaneers take a 2-1 lead. When we come back, set 4 here in Gore Arena, as Charleston Southern looks to even this series at 1 game apiece. Charleston Southern takes set 3, 25-22 as we head to the 4th set here in Bowie's Creek. Buccaneers look to bounce back after a loss last night. A reminder, Pepsi is proud to be the official beverage partner of the Big South Conference. So don't forget to pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi today. Pepsi, that's what I like. You know, Pepsi was founded in this state, out in New Bern, North Carolina.
I did not know that.
Just a quick 2.5-hour drive to the coast. You go down the coast, down 95 at Charleston Southern, and here's David McFatrich's club. 2nd year as the head coach. He was so successful at Central Arkansas, a 2-time Southland Coach of the Year, and taking that model of success here to another mid-major conference in the Big South.
Yep, and he's done a good job here, obviously starting out at 4-1 on the season here in this spring abridged season of sorts. when a lot of coaches are really encountering a lot of changes from the normal rhythm, as are the athletes. Coach McFatrish has really done a great job with that adjustment in his second year with CSU, starting out at 4-1. A great start for the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers are in the number 6 seed in last year's conference tournament, lost in 3 against Campbell, who made it all the way to the tournament final a couple days later. Now here we go to start set 3. Now into set 4. Layla Sarvis, the freshman libero, to serve. I love her ability to return serve. She'll be on both sides, libero and a defensive specialist. Melody Page in system has been special tonight.
And why not Melody Page? She really was a hot hand in set 2. So that connection there, kind of a gap set, not quite in front of the right side block for CSU, not quite in front of the middle blocker, and she finds some space and puts it down.
Miner with great hands. Did someone touch net there?
Yep. And
yeah, Paige Rieger did. So point Campbell.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of a late call. And now I know Rieger is motioning no. I do believe that Rieger was in the net, and she's actually asking her coach to do a review of the play. So we'll have to wait. And yep, sure enough, they're going to do a review to determine if Rieger was in the net. Now, sometimes emotion can really come into play when you think you have a good block. Sometimes you don't even realize that you touched the net. So that argument by Rieger, well, if we can get a good view at it, I guess from here it sure looked like she was in the net.
There was a lot of movement at the net at the time, and that always is the question, what type of angle can you see? Here's our referee 2, Randy McLam, looking it over to check the call. And
a unique part of a net touch rule is if the ball moves the net and then the net bounces into a player, that's not technically a net touch, but I don't think that sort of determination is going to come into play here.
Looks like we have our official decision. Randy McLam, what do you got? Wow.
Oh my goodness, not what I saw, but that review didn't take very long, so it was pretty apparent that the call is going to be a net touch against Layla Green. And it's interesting enough, I don't see Layla Green arguing there, so I think that's the cat that caught the canary. She was just kind of waiting to see if that call would be made or not, and sure enough, the officials get it right.
The video never lies. It's one thing I've learned in this sport. Here's Rusted on the serve. Miner, a difficult set that Page dominates to the floor.
Oh, Miner rips that ball. I say rip, but pulls that ball out of the net. Melody Page does what great middles are supposed to do. They go up with their setter in good times and bad, and she was rewarded with no block. Melody Page puts that ball to the floor at the 10-foot line.
How about that emotion after that point, too? Given
Love
the review of the point before and another net violation on Campbell. They say Layla Green touched the net.
Yeah, I think the motion, and I hate to correct you here, I think the call is that Layla Green interfered.
Oh, okay.
So the ball had not yet made it to the plane of the net. If Layla Green touches that, then and a CSU player was attempting to, then that would be an interference call.
Greg Gorel going to challenge this. Like you mentioned, was there an interference or not? So, Paul, why does this match matter? Well, in the conference standings, everyone's trying to catch High Point right now, who's 7-0, another win last night. Both these teams have High Point coming up in the next 2 weeks, a critical match tonight.
Absolutely. One of them is in the driver's seat to overtake High Point if they can sweep High Point, or at least get the split to keep pace with High Point having the one-game lead in the conference so far.
Remember, no conference tournament this year, so so important to put yourself in that position. High Point, the preseason favorites. Charleston Southern voted 7th in the preseason poll, and they're exceeding those expectations.
Yeah, and this is a point where they're excited about exceeding expectations, but they're close enough to first place to where they can taste or at least sniff first place and a possible bid. So there's a little extra energy that comes with not just overcoming 7th to be in 3rd, but to be in 3rd within reach of first place in that bid. What a fantastic opportunity that would be for CSU if they were to find themselves in the NCAAs after being selected 7th in the conference this season.
Last year, Winthrop was the undefeated champions. They ran the league from start to finish, did not lose a match. High Point has just the same amount of talent this year as that club. They went up to Washington and lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. By the way, the Big South has never won an NCAA tournament match. They've won a couple sets here and there, but looking for their first ever win.
Yep, the problem is they get stuck in the RPI battle, which puts them it puts them far down on the seeding. So when you get 64 teams, they end up getting seeded. If you were to snake the actual layout of the tournament, they're placing the Big South team down either in the 60s or somewhere in the 50s.
And then you're playing a number 1 or number 2 seed in your bracket, and oh yeah.
Yeah, you're starting out with a buzzsaw, and that's not easy to do. It's not that they're not worthy of the tournament by any means, but they're getting seeded against some of these top-notch teams. Boy, those are hard victories to come by.
And to your point, Washington last year was the 8th national seed. So you're not playing just a top seed in your group of 4. You're playing a legit opponent. Match 1. Following the review, Ananda Patterson is dug up by Sales, and Thompson cuts it through the block of Patterson.
Nice job by Thompson to take that lefty cut swing, and if it hasn't been Thompson, it's been Rieger out there. Thompson and Rieger both really kicking in with some good quality offense because Diana Chara, 10 kills. She was hot earlier on, but lately it's been Thompson and Rieger.
Layla Green's touch goes out. 13th kill for Green, who leads Campbell in points. This is the first set we've seen Ananda Patterson check in for Campbell up front. Part of the 3 middle block rotation.
Yeah, just a different look, a different wrinkle from Campbell. And Coach Gorel mentioned that when you're as deep as he is, he has no hesitation to put in a player like Ananda Patterson. She really plays more like one of multiple starting able middle blockers for the Campbell squad.
Layla Green able to tool the block, and she is 3 digs shy of her 5th double-double of the season. Nice touch by Indigo Young for the point. Give her 4 kills.
Yep, Minner was playing exceptionally deep, so Ananda Young, Indigo sees that, and she gets the quality tip to go down short out in front of Emily Minner.
Young hitting .333. She comes into this match hitting .450. That's 8th best in the country.
Boy, what a player you got when .333 is almost 100 points under your.
Yeah, when that's your off day.
Yeah, when an off day is .333, you know your life's pretty good when you've got Indigo Young on your squad.
Minner forced to bump set it to Green. Now Minnick keeps it alive for Thompson. And point Campbell on the double touch.
Yep, double contact there. Minner, or not Minner, pardon me. Minnick got a little bit crossed up trying to get over and in position to make that set, and the result was the double contact.
I think M's the magic letter for setters today.
Yes, pretty safe call. Any setter that touches the ball, I'll just say M, and I'll be sure to have it right.
Brought to you by the Cookie Monster. Big fan of Big South volleyball, and a point for Charleston Southern to tie it at 5. The Cookie Monster now actually eats vegetables and only eats 1 cookie a day. Part of the new health initiatives of Sesame Street in year 65 as a TV show.
Well, I like it, and Michelle Obama really worked on the mindset of people regarding fitness and health throughout her 8 years as the nation's first lady, and it's no surprise that Sesame Street is getting healthy.
Maybe the most dominant lady on the court tonight, Peyton Thompson with the block. She has got 10 kills, 7 digs, and 3 blocks.
Great block by Thompson. And with Thompson and Rieger out there, boy, that is one formidable pair out on the block and offensively. This is the one rotation where they're both out on the floor at the same time. So this is obviously an opportunity for CSU to score. And in this case, no need to worry about the attacking or blocking of those two. The ace from Elma Fatrich.
The daughter of the head coach who spent her high school career in Arkansas when he was the coach at Central Arkansas. Of course, then taking the job at Mississippi State. Elle finishes out high school in her hometown. And here she is at the Buccaneers. That block goes out. Point Charleston Southern. This is a 4-0 run.
Yeah, a well-positioned block by both Ananda Patterson and Sarah Kalla, but she just gets the tool, goes off of Kalla's hands. That ball goes just out of bounds, maybe by 6 inches.
You wonder in set 4 how patient Greg Gorel will be with those timeouts as his team gives up a run.
I don't think he's going to wait much longer.
Bump set here from Holweger, and Nanaseni frees it over. Kalla coming from behind, misses long, wants hands, does not get the wish.
And it looks like the coach is going to confer with his players. His players are adamant that there was a touch. So Coach Gorel, it appears as though he's going to review as to whether or not there was a touch on that attack. Oh, and they are going to call the touch. Okay, so kind of a late call.
So checking with the head linesman.
Yep, they confer with the linesman, and the linesman does say, hey, yes, I did see a touch. I'm going to go ahead and make that call. I hate that there was a delay there, but at least
and that
they
means
get
Greg
it right.
Gorel still keeps his 2 additional challenges, correct?
Yes, and that's a relief for Coach Gorel when a missed touch like that. You don't want to burn your reviews if you can help it. They only come up as very useful as we get later on in this match.
Paige Rager, 14 kills tonight. Looking to match her season high of 15.
Yep, and look out for the monster topspin lefty serve of Thompson here. This has caused problems for Campbell.
Cook delivers it well. Minnick goes oppo to Nanaseni. Cook, that's a tight angle, pushing it wide. Charleston Southern leading by 4. And here's a timeout for Greg Gorel. The Buccaneers look to put away this match in 4. Let's see if they can pull it off after this break. Charleston Southern leading by 4. Early on in this 4th set, looking to close out the match. Beautiful serve by Thompson, gets a friendly bounce.
Well, that's a very, very fortunate bounce, and once that ball clips the tape, all bets are off as far as the passers for Campbell. That ball trickles down for a point. Very, very fortuitous bounce, and Thompson gets the ace.
Just the 4th ace for Charleston Southern tonight. That's been Campbell's strength. 7 aces for the Camels. Kalla misses long. And a rough night for Sarah Kalla, 5 kills and 7 errors.
Yeah, and what a rare day for Kalla to be hitting on the negative. Quite a surprise here, as you mentioned, with 5 kills. And Coach Gorel really needs a little bit more out of Kalla if they're going to overcome being doubled up right now at 12-6.
Mitter, the back set to Kalla, goes right back at it. McFatrich the error, point Campbell. That stops a 5-0 run, by the way.
And Kate Menz is going to come out on the floor for Campbell. She's going to patrol mostly on the right. She had some nice success blocking on the right. She's put down just a couple of kills over there on the right. In fact, Menz with, just 1 kill, but a couple of other good swings.
Minnick against the net, overshot Rieger, which is hard to do at 6'5". Cook touches hands of Minnick for the point.
Nice swing by Cook. Minnick was in position, but Minnick was kind of falling down. Timing was kind of rough off of the shoot set from Campbell. And nice job by Cook to finish that off on the tool off of Minnick's blocking hands.
Maddie Miner, the float serve. Chance for Campbell in transition. Rieger gets a hand on that somehow. Now swings and finds the back corner. Or did it go out of bounds? The Campbell staff thinks it was.
Well, it hit the toes of the line judge, but maybe the line judge had repositioned themselves. So Campbell can't believe that Rieger's attempt went to the back last square foot of the volleyball court. Very, very fortunate swing. So not only the ace serve from Thompson a couple minutes ago were very fortunate, then Rieger's ball into this corner. A couple of fortunate breaks for CSU so far.
Every time they've fed Melody Page just like that, she's put it away. 11 kills.
Great job by Miner to take that ball, which was going on the overpass. She makes the save, gets that ball into Page's hands. Page again, no mistakes by Melody Page. Melody Page now with 10 kills, hitting a nice looking 500 on the day so far.
She set a career high with 15 kills at Winthrop a couple of weeks ago, and an ace for Chloe Cook.
And you got to know that the Bucks, as soon as they can get a pass, they're going to try to get that ball into Rieger's hands. Rieger's last front row rotation here, she's been pretty dominant so far on the offensive side of the ball.
Chara from the deep side. Good downline swing. Green saves it. Point Campbell.
Well, Green first thought about maybe going with a set, but then when she saw that the balance wasn't right, instead she turns and takes that swing, a little light swing down the line. Just what Campbell needed. They've got a little bit of momentum. A moment ago, they were just down 12-6, now drawed to within 2.
If you're Charleston Southern here, it's been a game of runs. They have given up a run in the second set to tie it. What do they have to do to avoid a big run here in set 4?
Well, it continues to be service reception. When they've been passing well, they've been able to get the ball to their weapons in Rieger, Thompson, and then also a little bit of Indigo Young, and then Chara, so they can really spread that offense around as long as the passing is going well.
Look how even this match is. Really the big difference for Charleston, a good frontline presence with those 7 blocks. And Paul, it's always tough to tell in a set 4 how it's going to decide this match, but it seems like these teams are in for a very competitive 4th set.
They are, and it's been a joy to be at the floor level for this game. They've really gone back and forth, some quality blocking, some quality offense. I know I harp a lot on the passing, but I think passing is going to be what really makes the final call in this game. If Campbell can pass, they're going to get the ball to the very dominant Melody Page, who's been fantastic today. And as for the Buccaneers, if they can get the ball in the hands of Paige Rieger, well, of course they're going to be happy about that. And then when Thompson comes to the front row, well, you know they're going to feed that lefty. And in fact, with Thompson in the back row, wouldn't be surprised to see a back row attack from Thompson here. Haven't seen one of those since early on in set 3.
She's had a couple of kills from the back row as well, so always dangerous in that spot. Tough serve for Sarvis. Rieger's dug up by Miner, and no chance to save it. Charleston Southern up 3.
Yep, and they survived that rally just long enough to keep the ball up, but then to no avail. That ball goes down to the floor, and now this is where Campbell has to thrive. They've got to side out and take advantage of the long block of Rieger off the court for 3 rotations here.
Campbell yesterday sided out 65% of the time. They'll need a big one here as Men's on the swing. Beats the block for the point.
Nice job by Men's. She splits Indigo Young and Diana Chara, and nice job by Men's. Men's hasn't seen a ton of sets, but the sets that she's received, she's done really well with.
Kate Menz with her 9th kill of the year. And here's Claren Fechter with a float serve. Minnick pushes it long. Chara finds the floor.
And a good save, but to no avail. Ananda Patterson had to just kind of lay out just to make the second contact and get anything on it. Campbell almost survived, but instead CSU with the kill.
Emma Minnick, who at one time was the lone setter healthy on this club, serves it up. Men's with 2 straight productive swings.
And Campbell continues to compete their way back into this set. It was looking really rough. I know I mentioned earlier, down 12-6, now down by only 2, but CSU with a 2-1 sets lead. So a victory here by CSU in set 4, and that'd be game over.
Charleston had dropped just 1 set coming into this week. They get swept last night, and off the noggin of Patterson, the Buccaneers are back in front.
Thompson with the big lefty swing. That ball bounces off of her head, and it doesn't go high enough for the defense of Campbell to make the save.
Here's Ashley Holweger, the second setter that's back and healthy. She now ranks in the top 15 in career assists in Charleston Southern history out of Springboro, Ohio. And more importantly, we've seen her on serve receive a bunch tonight. Mitter goes middle to Patterson. There's Holweger right on it. Thompson across the court, finds the far line.
Fantastic swing by Thompson. That ball works its way around the block, and the defense was nowhere to be found. The defense was well positioned, but way too much heat from Peyton Thompson to put that ball down.
Critical point in this 4th set. Charleston Southern took sets 1 and 3. Now they look for their first road win in this building in 3 years, and that hit Emily Mitter for the point.
And you could see Holweger really reared back to serve that ball very, very hard. She very much attacked a float serve from there that caught Mitter by surprise. Mitter couldn't get out of the way of that serve. A very rare touch by a setter in service reception.
A 4-1 run for the Buccaneers. Trouble with Gross on the serve. Kala beats the block, and here's Sarah Kala with her 7th kill.
Yep, nice job by Kala. She snaps that ball over the well-set double block on the CSU side. That ball goes down at very much desperately needed point for the Campbell Camels.
McFatrich touching it towards the net. Young is dug up. Cook on a deep swing. Now Thompson, soft touch. Fechter finds it. This ball goes over. Cook, this is going to be difficult. Touching down the line for the point.
What a fantastic save by Cook. That ball was sailing a little tight, usually out of system. You don't want that ball being set anywhere near the net, but Cook kind of does the only thing she can. She makes her fingers strong, hard push into that corner for a point.
Trouble on the serve receive here. Mitter goes to Sarah Kala. That misses long. And the Buccaneers are 6 points from the match.
And that's a tough one for Kala. Kala was going into the high angle, but she couldn't quite get the snap to bring that ball back down. That ball sails long. So McFatrich is a strong server here for CSU. We'll see what she dials up serving against Green and Cook.
Mitter forced to bump it to Kala. McFatrich the save. Now Thompson. Took a tricky bounce off the net. Here's Green from the back row. Oh, and she gets the point. Layla Green, 16 kills.
Well, and Layla Green really kind of saves the day. She had a couple of rough swings, maybe midway through set 3, but you know who Campbell's got to count on. They're going to count on Layla Green. She's their top kill getter for the season. No doubt they're going to go to her front row or back.
Ties a season high with those 15 kills. Rieger kind of bumped it over. Here's Cook into the block of Rieger, and Charleston Southern can taste blood in this 4th set.
Fantastic block by Rieger. Cook had no choice but to take a swing. She was looking up at the ball. She couldn't see that Rieger's block was well positioned, and Rieger makes no mistake, stuffs that ball straight down.
Buccaneers lead the conference in blocks. That's a critically timed one. Fechter bumps it to Cook. Now Charleston in transition. Rieger denied by Chloe Cook.
And Chloe Cook with the answer. Nice answer by Cook, pairing up with Melody Page for the stuff. So Rieger with the block, and then Campbell responds in kind.
We talk about two teams that make it tough for opposing attacks. Charleston Southern hitting 280 in this match, a fantastic total, and yet we could go to a 5th set here if Campbell gets on a run.
Yeah, for Campbell, it's been mostly defense. It's been a few aces that have allowed Campbell to stay in the game. Campbell hitting only 189, so nearly 91 points weaker than.
Ooh, Rieger wanted
the
that a little
CSU.
higher, so a hitting error makes it 20-18. This is where Campbell thrived last night. Very tight matches till the third set. They won it in 3, and a timeout call by David McFatridge. If you're Greg Gorel here, how do you keep this momentum going and force a 5th set?
I think you continue to serve hard, and it's really, really crucial not to give any free, easy swings for Paige Rieger. As long as they can put service pressure on CSU, Rieger's not as effective on the higher sets.
You see Greg Gorel here trying to get his club back in this match in his 8th year. Their best start in 4 seasons. That team made the NIVC, the inaugural year of the tournament, and he knows this year's team may not have a chance to reach that level without a possible postseason, but he does know that if they need to catch High Point, it starts by sweeping this series tonight.
Absolutely, this is a critical series for both squads, and as of today, both squads with only 1 tally in the loss column, so one of these two is going to fall to 2 losses, with High Point well in the lead with no losses at 7-0 as we speak.
High Point Panthers, in fact, winning in their match today as well. They're already up 2-0, so a chance to close that one out. Panthers are a very good squad. What Ryan Craig has going on there at High Point, very dangerous.
Yep, and High Point traditionally has had a very, very good program for many, many years in the Big South, and it's no surprise that they're at the top of the conference even today.
They were the number 2 seed last year. They are right at it this season. The winner of this match moves into 2nd place. Oh, a critical service error for Maddie Miner.
And she's not happy. You can see her roll that ball back to the ball handlers, and she's going to have to recoup. She's the setter. She's going to have to come up with a quality set and just kind of shake it off. Good volleyball players can shake off a mistake or two, and Mitter's definitely going to have to do that here.
Layla Sarvis floats one to Cook. Miner goes right back to her, and that's a point for the freshman.
Nice answer by Cook. Nice set by number 6, Maddie Miner, to get that ball out there where it needed to be. So she does calm herself after the missed serve and perfectly locates Chloe Cook for the attack and the kill.
Miner, 25 assists tonight. Now Thompson from the back. That dig will go over. Fair ball. The dump scooped up by Fechter. Oh, wow, is that a lift? No, a double touch on Miner. Nonetheless, CSU 3 points from the match.
I'm not so sure about that one, but it was a very definitive call. Very, very surprising that that set was that the set was called a double. I thought it was clean, and I really was impressed with the decision by Maddie Miner to make that set, but the official didn't think so.
Green flying in, and the off-balance shot results in a point.
So Campbell continues to answer back, but they're going to need to put together a run if they want to close the gap here and possibly take it to a set 5, because right now they're down CSU with the 2-1 sets lead here late in set 4.
Their first loss of the year was a 4-setter at Winthrop. They had the exact same scenario, trying to force 5. They could not. Here's Thompson going deep to Cook. Green has led this team with 16 kills. McFatridge takes it off the chest. Chara gets a tip. That's enough for the point.
Yep, and no call on the presumed double contact from Ananda Patterson because it was the first ball over. Now doubling that is legal. So I think CSU players at first thought maybe that would be a double call, but instead it should not be. Play went on, so good on the officials on that one to let that play continue.
Charleston Southern trying to avenge a 3-set loss last night. Minnick serves to Green. Patterson in transition, point Campbell.
Nice answer by Patterson to get that ball into the corner, and kind of a rough rotation for Maddie Miner on the set. Couple of mistakes there, but that one to the middle, Ananda Patterson. Patterson makes no mistake.
This is a critical point. If Campbell loses this point, Rieger can sub back in, and the Buccaneers will have a lot of size on the front row.
Yes, right now the threat of Peyton Thompson is over on the left side, the lefty on the left, and a look for CSU to set her if they can.
Minnick goes backside to Chara. That touches the head of Wilson, and match point upcoming.
Well, I like the decision there. The eyes were on Thompson, as were mine, as I thought they might kick it out there. Instead, backside to Chara. Chara puts that ball down.
Greg Goro has a timeout if he wants to use it.
So there's some discussion here as to substitution and how many subs CSU has. CSU is allowed to inquire as to
their number up to 15,
subs.
correct.
Yeah, the number of subs they have. And I think with that delay, they were also trying to figure out who should be subbing at that point.
Layla Green. Might have been a double touch there on Nanaseni, who misses long. Campbell now has to serve out to win this set.
Yes, they're going to need at least 2 points here. Otherwise, CSU finishes things off.
Critical juncture in this fourth and possibly final set, 24-22. McFatridge to the floor. Thompson off the block, saved by McFatridge. Minner goes to Kala. That falls to the floor. Match point number 4 coming up.
Yep, and Kala will take that. That ball was trickling along the net, and you could see her cover her mouth over her mask and say, oh, thank goodness that ball trickled over. One more chance for a point from Layla Green on the serve.
It all comes down to this. Can Campbell extend the match? Thompson, dug up by Mitter. Sarah Kala misses long. Charleston Southern wins it in 4 sets. Their defense does enough to take this one 3-1.
And Campbell with the very valiant comeback, but unfortunately that ball sailed just long. I know the idea that Kala had. She was trying for high, deep right back angle, but that ball sailed on her, and good on CSU. CSU with a 3-1 victory to split the end of the week series.
Charleston Southern moves to 5-1 on the season, keeping up with the High Point Panthers, who are 7-0. Campbell with the loss. They dropped to 5-2. They have some work to do, but all 3 of these teams still in the hunt in the Big South Conference. For Paul McDonald, I'm Evan Budrovich signing off from Bowie's Creek. Charleston Southern splits the weekend set, and they pick up a critical 4-set win here in Bowie's Creek. Watch this matchup on the ESPN app and join us next time. But for all of us here in Go Arena, we sign off from Big South Volleyball.